Hola chicos y chicas. So this is la estructura 6.3, the pretérito, del indicativo, verbos regulares. So en inglés son los verbos que terminan ed, the ones that they end in ed. Okay, so we will cover some of irregular verbs. So please read through this. Okay, so when we use the ed in English and Spanish, we use el pretérito. We have many ways of saying the past tense. And the pretérito, they have their own rules and the endings are different. So some of the verbs are irregular in the present tense, but that doesn't mean they will be irregular in the past tense. They have their own rules. Okay, so this is the regular verbs. Be careful, the accent is very important. And el yo y el, again, a lot of people, they make those mistakes. They switch them. Do not switch them because you're so used to have an O for the yo form, but en el pretérito es una E. Hasta O, amos, hasta Aaron, en nosotros form no cambia. Pero en the ER verbs son imos, not hemos, with the E in present tense, and the pretérito it's a I, the same as this. So ER and IR verbs son iguales. Exactamente los mismos sufijos. The endings are exactly the same. ¿Ok? Y tilde en el yo y en el él. Yo vendí, él, usted vendió, yo escribí, él, usted escribió o ella escribió. ¿Vale? Ok, aquí hay unos ejemplos. Por favor, léalos. Ya decidí, el rojo. Ok, I decided. Ok, and we have more regular verbs, so please go over it. And then tenemos los irregulares. The root changes, okay? La raíz cambia, so the E changes to IE, and the O changes to UE, and the U changes to UE, okay? Doesn't mean that if they are irregular in the present tense, they will be boot verbs as the same as in the pretérito. They have different set of verbs, okay? Then these are buscar, cargar, and thar. These are irregular only on the job form, and for good reason. Because if we keep the root C, J, and Z, it will change the sound of it. Por ejemplo, if I don't change the C to Q, it will say busé. Yo busé, yo llegué. So that's why we have to change it. Okay? So you're gonna have to memorize it. Tenéis que memorizarlo. Ok, ¿qué más? Ok, tenéis que memorizar solamente en el yo form. Irregular solamente en el yo form. Ok, aquí hay más irregulares. And these have good reason to be irregular. Porque if I just keep it with an I, vamos a tener, for example, only in the L form and ages form. If you remember in high school, maybe your teachers used to say the basement verbs. And I used to call them the chicken legs verbs, because if you put the Y upside down, it looks like a chicken leg. But some of my co-workers, they used to call them the basement verb, because if you put yo to L, the L ellos on the bottom are the ones that are irregular. Okay? And it's for a good reason again, because we could have a vowel, and vowel, vocal, vocal, y vocal, and the I makes the same sound as the Y. So that's why they changed it. Okay? Tenemos vocal y vocal, 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 y vocal. So we change the I to consonante to the Y. Okay? Aquí hay más irregulares and más ejemplos. What I did is I give you this worksheet. It's a really good worksheet, and I encourage you to use it, chicos y chicas, because it has the most used irregular verbs. I have more verbs here for the future if you want to print it out and have back and forth. Pero aquí tenéis todos los verbos irregulares en el past tense, irregular verbs in the past tense. So, por ejemplo, andar, we call this the UV verbs. So you just change the root to anduve, and there are anduve, anduviste, anduvo, anduvimos, anduvistes, anduvieron, and you can see there is no tilde. And more irregular verbs like ver, you have it in your lesson. So this is a good worksheet that you can print it out. You doing this in your lesson, and you have, you see, the chicken legs or the basement verbs and the car garden thar. This is a good cheat sheet to have. Vale? Okay. And I will put the video here, and I'm done.